The Honorable Carter.
Thank you, Speaker. Deputy President, I note your reply on food security, but are you aware that the value of farms after that motion in the House dropped with almost 35%? Thus, what happens with a drop of that? Farmers can get less money for production cost. In other words, and if we look at fertilizer and fuel cost, we even sit with a situation that they could plant 40% less. Now, if we do the simple sums of supply and demand, what does that mean? It's the poorest of the poor that's not going to be able to afford the food. Now, Deputy President, you say government doesn't have the money. But where does the money come from? Does it come from government? Does it come from a ruling party? No, it comes from the taxpayer. Now, hundreds of thousands of written submissions were not taken into consideration. And my question to you, Deputy President, what is your view here on, given our constitutional order and the values and principles that underpin it? Thank you.
The Honorable Deputy President.
Well, if you refer to the Constitution, my views on the whole process, constitutionally we have agreed that we are a nation that has got a past. We are from a divided past. We inflicted pains to one another. And at a certain point, we agreed that we must reconcile. Remember the TRC, where we exposed certain atrocities, and we seek to close that chapter. And at the uppermost of the TRC was reparation, restitution, try and compensate those who were wronged in the past. And in the process, we moved on in that spirit. And I don't think we're wrong if we say land was dispossessed and this must be corrected. However, the mechanism that we're going to follow must not take us back. That's the important thing that we must. But the fact of the matter, it's a point that we can't ignore, we can't push it aside, because certain people were dispossessed of what was normally theirs. Therefore, if we want them to be part of this nation, new nation that we're building, we must recognize that they were wronged. Thank you very much.
We now come to
Honourable
question
Speaker.
number 34. Honorable Carter.
Honourable Speaker, I don't know if the Deputy President didn't hear the question, but he didn't answer the question at all.
Well, that's your take on the matter, Honorable Carter, but in my record, he has answered, maybe not to your satisfaction, and I regret that. We now are at question number 34, asked by the Honorable Madela to the Deputy President. The Honorable Deputy President.